Sarah Williams stood in her kitchen, cutting vegetables for dinner. The smell of chicken filled the air as it cooked in the oven. She hummed softly to herself, thinking about her day at work. It had been a good day. Her boss had praised her for finishing a big project on time. The clock on the wall showed 6:30 p.m. Her husband, David, would be home soon from his job at the bank. Their daughter Emma was at soccer practice and should be back any minute. Sarah loved these quiet moments before her family came home. The house felt peaceful and warm. She picked up a carrot and started cutting it into small pieces. The knife moved smoothly through the orange vegetable. Sarah had made this same dinner many times before: chicken, vegetables, and rice. It was David's favorite meal. Emma always complained about the vegetables, but she ate them anyway. Sarah heard a car door slam outside. She looked through the window and saw Emma getting out of her friend's car. Emma waved goodbye and walked toward the house. Sarah smiled and went back to cutting vegetables. Emma was such a good girl. She was 16 years old and did well in school. She never gave her parents any trouble. The front door opened with a loud bang. Sarah looked up from her cutting board. Emma usually came in quietly and went straight to her room to do homework. The loud noise was strange. "Mom," Emma called out. Her voice sounded different, not happy like usual. Sarah put down her knife and walked toward the living room. "I'm in the kitchen, honey," Sarah called back. "How was practice?" Emma did not answer. Right away, Sarah heard whispers. It sounded like Emma was talking to someone. Maybe she had brought a friend home. Emma sometimes did that without asking first. Sarah walked into the living room and stopped. Emma stood near the door with another girl. The girl looked about the same age as Emma, maybe a little older. She had long dark hair and wore old jeans and a faded t-shirt. She carried a small backpack that looked worn out. "Mom," Emma said again. Her voice shook a little. "This is Maya." Sarah looked at the girl more closely. Something about her face seemed familiar. She had green eyes, just like Emma, just like Sarah herself. The girl's nose was small and straight. Her chin had a little dimple in it. Sarah's hand went to her own chin, feeling the same dimple she had always had. "Hello, Maya," Sarah said slowly. "It's nice to meet you." Maya nodded but did not smile. She looked nervous and scared. Her hands held the backpack straps tightly. "Mom," Emma said. She took a deep breath. "Maya found me on the internet." She did. One of those DNA tests. You know, the ones that tell you about your family. Sarah felt something cold in her stomach. DNA tests? Family? She looked at Maya again. The green eyes, the dimple. The way she stood with one foot turned out just like Emma always did. "I don't understand," Sarah said. But part of her was starting to understand. Part of her was remembering things she had tried to forget for 18 years. Emma looked at her mother, then at Maya, then back at her mother. "Mom," Maya is looking. For her birth family, her real family. The cold feeling in Sarah's stomach grew stronger. She sat down hard on the couch. Her legs felt weak. Maya spoke for the first time. Her voice was soft and careful. "I'm sorry to bother you, Mrs. Williams. I know this is strange, but I think you might be my mother." Sarah's world stopped. The words hit her like a truck. She looked at Maya's face again. 18 years old, green eyes, the same dimple, the same way of standing. Sarah's mind went back to a time she never talked about. A time when she was 17 and scared and alone. "I have some things," Maya said. She opened her backpack with shaking hands. She pulled out a yellow envelope. "The people at the adoption agency gave these to me when I turned 18. Sarah's hands shook as she took the envelope. Inside was a hospital bracelet, a small plastic band with her name on it. Sarah Williams, and a date, the date she would never forget. The date she gave birth to a baby girl and then gave her away. "Oh my God," Sarah whispered. The bracelet fell from her hands to the floor. Emma looked confused and scared. "Mom, what's happening? What does this mean?" Sarah could not speak. She looked at Maya and saw herself at 17. She saw the baby she had held for only 10 minutes before the nurse took her away. She saw the daughter she had thought about every day for 18 years, Mom? Emma said again. What's going on? Sarah tried to find words. How do you tell your daughter that she has a sister? How do you explain that you gave away a baby? How do you tell your family about the biggest secret of your life? Maya sat down on the edge of the chair across from Sarah. I lived in foster homes my whole life, she said quietly. I always wondered about my real family. I saved money for 2 years to take that DNA test. When I got the results, it showed Emma as my sister. Emma stared at her mother. Sister? Mom, is this true? Sarah looked at her daughter. Emma's eyes were wide with shock and confusion. Then she looked at Maya. Maya's eyes were full of hope and fear. Yes, Sarah whispered. It's true. The room went completely silent. Even the sounds from the kitchen seemed to stop. The chicken in the oven, the clock ticking, everything was quiet. Emma sat down next to her mother. You had another baby? You had a baby before me? Sarah nodded. Tears started to fall down her cheeks. I was 17. Just a year older than you are now. I was scared. My parents were so angry. They said I would ruin the family name. So you gave her away? Emma's voice was small and hurt. I thought it was best, Sarah said. I thought she would have a better life with other parents. Parents who could give her things I couldn't give her. Maya spoke again. I understand. You were young, but I need you to know something. I didn't have a better life. I moved from house to house. Some families were nice, some were not. I was always the kid who didn't belong anywhere. Sarah felt like someone had punched her in the stomach. All these years, she had told herself that Maya was happy, that she had parents who loved her, that she had a good life. I'm sorry, Sarah said. I'm so sorry. The front door opened. David's voice called out, I'm home. Something smells good. Sarah, Emma, and Maya all looked at each other. David did not know about Maya. David did not know about the baby Sarah had given away. David did not know about the secret that had lived in Sarah's heart for 18 years. David walked into the living room, loosening his tie. He saw the 3 women sitting there, all looking upset. He saw the tears on Sarah's face and the scared look on Emma's face. He saw the stranger with the backpack. What's going on? David asked. Who is this? Sarah looked at her husband. The man she had been married to for 20 years. The man she loved but had never told her biggest secret. She looked at Emma, her daughter who was learning that her mother had lied to her for her whole life. She looked at Maya, the daughter she had given away and who had found her way back. David, Sarah said. Her voice was barely a whisper. We need to talk. The pot on the stove started to boil over. Water ran down the sides of the pot and made a hissing sound on the hot burner, but nobody moved to turn it off. They all just sat there, looking at each other, as Sarah's carefully built world began to fall apart. David stared at his wife. He had never seen Sarah look so scared. Her face was white and her hands were shaking. The strange girl with the backpack sat very still, like she was afraid to move. Sarah, what's happening? David asked again. Who is this girl? Sarah looked at Maya, then at Emma, then back at David. She took a deep breath. David, this is Maya. She's my daughter. David laughed, but it was not a happy laugh. What do you mean, she's your daughter? Emma is your daughter. No, Sarah said, quietly. I mean, she's my other daughter, from before. The words hit David like a cold wave. He sat down hard in his chair. Before? Before what? Before we met, Sarah said. Before Emma. Before our marriage. I had a baby when I was 17. I gave her up for adoption. David's mouth opened, but no words came out. He looked at Maya, then at Emma, then back at Sarah. You had a baby? You never told me you had a baby. Sarah started to cry again. I was scared to tell you. I thought you would leave me. I thought you would think I was a bad person. A bad person? David's voice got louder. Sarah, you lied to me for 20 years. We've been married for 20 years and you never told me you had a child. Emma looked at her father, then at her mother. Dad, please don't yell. This is hard for everyone. David looked at his daughter. Sweet Emma, trying to keep peace in the family like she always did. But this was not a small fight about money or chores. This was about the biggest lie he had ever heard. Maya spoke up. "I'm sorry, Mr. Williams. I didn't mean to cause trouble. I just wanted to find my real family." "Your real family?" David said. "What do you mean?" Maya looked down at her hands. "I grew up in foster care. I never had a real family. I moved from house to house. When I turned 18, they gave me these papers." She pointed to the envelope on the table. "I wanted to know where I came from." Sarah wiped her eyes with her sleeve. "David, please sit down. Let me explain everything." David sat down, but he looked angry and hurt. "Explain what?" "How you had a whole other life before me. How you had a baby and gave it away and never told me." "I was 17, Sarah said. "I was in my last year of high school. I was dating this boy, Tommy Chun. We were young and stupid. When I got pregnant, he left town, just disappeared." Maya looked up quickly. "Chun? My last name is Chun? That was my father's name?" Sarah nodded. "Tommy Chun. He was Chinese American. Very smart, good at math. But when I told him I was pregnant, he got scared and left." "Where did he go?" Maya asked. "I don't know," Sarah said. "He just left one day. His parents said he went to live with his uncle in California. I never saw him again." David shook his head. "So you were pregnant and alone. But why didn't you tell me about this when we met?" Sarah looked at her husband. "Because I was ashamed. My parents were so angry with me. They said I had ruined the family name. They said good girls don't get pregnant before marriage." "What did?" "You do?" Emma asked. "Where did you live?" "My parents sent me to live with my aunt in another town. I finished high school there. When the baby was born, I gave her to an adoption agency. They said it was a closed adoption. That meant I could never contact her and she could never contact me." Maya's eyes filled with tears. "Did you want to give me away?" Sarah looked at her. Daughter, this girl who looked so much like her. This girl who had her eyes and her dimple and her way of standing. "No, I wanted to keep you. I loved you the moment I saw you. But I was 18 years old. I had no money. No job, no place to live. But you could have found a way," Maya said. "Other young mothers find a way." Sarah shook her head. "My parents said they would never help me if I kept you. They said I would be on my own completely. I was scared. I thought you would have a better life with parents who had money and jobs and a nice house." David looked at his wife like he was seeing her for the first time. "So you gave away your baby and then what?" "You just pretended it never happened. I went to college," Sarah said. "I tried to forget. I tried to move on. But I thought about her every day, every birthday, every Christmas. I wondered if she was happy, if she was healthy, if she ever thought about me." Emma reached over and took her mother's hand. "Mom, why didn't you tell me I had a sister?" "Because it hurt too much to talk about," Sarah said. "And because I was afraid you would hate me for giving away your sister." "I don't hate you," Emma said. "But I don't understand. How could you give away your own baby?" Maya stood up and walked to the window. "I can tell you how it felt to be the baby who was given away." Everyone looked at her. She kept her back to them and looked out at the street. "The first family I lived with was nice," Maya said. "The Johnsons. They were older and couldn't have their own children. They loved me. For 2 years. Then Mrs. Johnson got sick and died. Mr. Johnson couldn't take care of me by himself, so I went to another family." Sarah felt like she was going to be sick. "Maya, I'm so sorry." Maya turned around. "The second family had 3 other foster kids. They just wanted the money the state gave them for taking care of us. We never had enough food. Our clothes were always dirty. I was there for 3 years." "3 years?" Emma said. "You were just a little kid." "I was 5 when I went there," Maya said. "I started school from that house. I was always hungry. The other kids at school made fun of me because my clothes didn't fit right." David looked at Sarah. "You thought she would have a better life?" Sarah was crying hard now. "I didn't know. The adoption agency said they would find her a good family. They said she would be happy." Maya sat back down. "Some families were better than others. The Millers were nice. They had me for 4 years. They wanted to adopt me, but their son got sick and they couldn't afford to take care of both of us. What happened then? Emma asked. More families? The Garcias were okay? The Thompsons were mean. They made me clean the house and take care of their real kids. They said I should be grateful they let me live there. Sarah put her head in her hands. I'm so sorry, Maya, I'm so sorry. I'm not telling you this to make you feel bad, Maya said. I'm telling you so you understand. I never had a real family. I never had parents who loved me no matter what. I never had a sister or brother. I was always the extra kid. The one who didn't really belong? David looked at Maya. Where are you living now? I aged out of the system when I turned 18. Maya said, that means they couldn't keep me in foster care anymore. I've been living in a group home for kids who have nowhere else to go. Emma's eyes got wide. You don't have anywhere to live? Maya shrugged. I have a bed in a room with 3 other girls. I work at a fast food restaurant. I take classes at night to finish high school. I saved up money for 2 years to take that DNA test. Sarah looked at this girl who was her daughter. This girl who had lived such a hard life while Sarah was safe and happy with David and Emma. Maya, what do you want from us? Maya looked at her hands again. I don't know. I just wanted to know where I came from. I wanted to know if I had any real family. I wanted to know if my birth mother ever thought about me. I thought about you every day, Sarah said. Every single day, but you never tried to find me, Maya said. The adoption was closed, Sarah said. I wasn't allowed to look? For you. The agency said it would be bad for you if I tried to contact you. Maya looked up. Bad for me? Do you know what was bad for me? Not knowing why my mother gave me away. Not knowing if she loved me. Not knowing if I had any brothers or sisters. David stood up and walked to the kitchen. They could hear him turning off the stove and running water. The chicken had been burning while they talked. Emma looked at Maya. I always wanted a sister. I used to ask Mom and Dad for a baby sister. You had one, Maya said. You just didn't know it. David came back from the kitchen. So what happens now? Are you going to stay here? Are you going to live with us? Maya looked surprised. I don't know. I didn't think that far ahead. I just wanted to meet you. I wanted to know if you were good people. Are we? Sarah asked. Are we good people? Maya looked at Sarah, then at David, then at Emma. I don't know yet, but Emma is nice. And you seem sad about what happened. That's something. David looked at his wife. Sarah, we need to talk, alone. Sarah nodded. Maya, are you hungry? Do you want some dinner? Maya looked uncertain. I don't want to cause trouble. You're not causing trouble, Emma said. You're my sister. Sisters eat dinner together. Sarah stood up. I'll make something for all of us. David, can you help me in the kitchen? David followed Sarah into the kitchen. Maya and Emma could hear them talking in low voices. Sometimes their voices got louder and they could hear David saying things like 20 years and how could you not tell me? Emma looked at Maya. Are you really my sister? Maya nodded. The DNA test showed that we share the same mother. Same father too, maybe, but I don't know who my father is. His name was Tommy Chun, Emma said. Mom just told us. Tommy Chun. Maya repeated. I never knew his first name. Emma studied Maya's face. You look like Mom, but you also look different. Your hair is darker. Your skin is a little different. That's probably from my father, Maya said. I'm half Chinese. Emma smiled a little. That's cool. I'm boring. Just regular white. You're not boring, Maya said. You have a family. You have parents who love you. You have a house and your own room and probably a car. Maya woke up in the guest room the next morning. For a moment she forgot where she was. The bed was so soft and the room was so quiet. At the group home there were always noises. Girls talking, doors slamming, someone crying. She sat up and looked around. The room had white walls and blue curtains. There was a small table by the window with a lamp on it. Everything was clean and neat. Maya had never slept in such a nice room before. She heard voices downstairs. Sarah and David were talking in the kitchen. Maya could smell coffee and bacon. Her stomach made a hungry noise. At the group home, breakfast was usually just cereal or toast. Sometimes there was nothing at all. Maya got dressed in the same clothes she had worn yesterday. They were the only clothes she had with her. She looked at herself in the mirror. Her hair was messy and her t-shirt had a small hole in it. She looked poor next to Emma and her nice family. She walked downstairs slowly. Sarah was standing at the stove making eggs. David sat at the table reading the newspaper. Emma was not there yet. "Good morning, Maya," Sarah said. "Did you sleep well?" Maya nodded. "Yes, thank you." The bed was very comfortable. David looked up from his paper. "Maya, Sarah and I talked last night. We want to help you. But we need to take this slowly." Maya sat down at the table. "I understand. I don't want to cause problems." Sarah put a plate of eggs and bacon in front of Maya. "You're not causing problems. You're my daughter." "But David is right. We need to figure out how to do this." Emma came into the kitchen. Her hair was wet from the shower and she was wearing clean clothes. She looked fresh and pretty. Maya felt even more shabby sitting next to her. "Morning," Emma said. She sat down next to Maya. "How was your first night?" "Good," Maya said. "Thank you." Sarah poured coffee for David and orange juice for the girls. "Emma, you need to eat breakfast. You have school." Emma looked at Maya. "Are you coming to school with me?" Maya shook her head. "I don't go to your school. I go to night school. I have to work during the day." "Where do you work?" David asked. "At a fast food place called Quick Burger," Maya said. "I work from 10 in the morning until 6 at night." David looked at his watch. "It's 7:30 now. How do you get to work?" "I take the bus," Maya said. "There's a stop near here." Sarah sat down at the table. "Maya, you don't have to go to work today. You can stay here. We can talk more." Maya looked uncomfortable. "I can't miss work. I need the money. And my boss will be angry if I don't show up." "One day won't hurt," Sarah said. "You don't understand," Maya said. "I can't lose this job. It's the only money I have." David looked at his wife. "Sarah, let her go to work." "We can talk tonight." Emma stood up. "I have to get ready for school." She looked at Maya. "Will you be here when I get home?" Maya nodded. "If that's okay." "It's okay," Emma said. She smiled at Maya. "See you later, sister." After Emma left for school, David got ready for work too. He kissed Sarah goodbye, but he looked worried. "Are you sure about this?" he asked quietly. Sarah nodded. "She's my daughter, David. I have to try." After David left, Sarah and Maya sat at the table alone. The house was quiet except for the clock ticking on the wall. "Maya," Sarah said, "I want you to know that you can stay here as long as you want." Maya looked at her hands. "Thank you, but I don't want to cause problems between you and your husband." "David will be okay," Sarah said. "He's just shocked. He needs time to get used to the idea." Maya looked around the kitchen. "This is a nice house." "Emma is lucky." Sarah felt guilty. "You should have had a nice house too. You should have had everything Emma has." "But I didn't," Maya said, "and that's okay. I'm used to taking care of myself." Sarah reached across the table and touched Maya's hand. "You don't have to take care of yourself anymore. You have a family now." Maya pulled her hand away gently. "I don't know how to be in a family. I don't know how to be a daughter." "We'll figure it out together," Sarah said. Maya looked at the clock. "I should go. I don't want to be late for work." Sarah drove Maya to the bus stop. Before Maya got out of the car, Sarah said, "I'll pick you up after work. We can go shopping for some clothes." Maya shook her head. "I don't have money for clothes." "I'll buy them," Sarah said. "You're my daughter." "I want to buy you clothes." Maya looked uncertain. "I don't know. I'm not used to people buying me things." "Please," Sarah said. "Let me do this for you." Maya nodded slowly. "Okay, thank you." At work, Maya tried to focus on her job. She flipped burgers and made French fries. But her mind kept thinking about Sarah and David and Emma. She kept thinking about the soft bed and the nice breakfast and the way Emma had called her sister. Her boss, Mr. Rodriguez, noticed that she seemed distracted. "Maya, are you okay today? You seem different." Maya looked at him. Mr. Rodriguez was a nice man who had given her a job when nobody else would. He knew she lived in a group home. He knew she was alone. I found my birth family, Maya said quietly. Mr. Rodriguez stopped what he was doing. Really? That's wonderful, Maya. How do you feel? I don't know, Maya said. Happy, scared, confused. Where are they? Mr. Rodriguez asked. Here in town, Maya said. I stayed at their house last night, Mr. Rodriguez smiled. That's great news. Are they nice people? Maya nodded. I think so. But it's complicated. My birth mother never told her husband about me. I think I'm causing problems. Give it time, Mr. Rodriguez said. Families are complicated, but blood is blood. At Emma's school, word was starting to spread. Emma had told her best friend Jessica about Maya. Jessica had told other people. By lunchtime, half the school was talking about Emma's secret sister. Some kids were curious. They asked Emma questions about Maya. Where had she been? Why didn't Emma know about her? Was it true that she lived in foster care? Other kids were mean. They whispered behind Emma's back. They said things like, I guess Emma's mom was a slut, and no wonder Emma is so weird, her family is crazy. Emma tried to ignore the mean comments, but they hurt. She had never been the center of school gossip before. She had always been just a regular girl with a regular family. In history class, a girl named Brittany raised her hand. Mrs. Johnson, is it true that some people give away their babies? Mrs. Johnson looked confused. Well, yes, Brittany. Some people choose adoption when they can't take care of a baby. But that's so cold, Brittany said. She looked at Emma. How could a mother give away her own baby? Emma felt her face get hot. Everyone was looking at her. She knew Brittany was trying to embarrass her. There are many reasons why people choose adoption, Mrs. Johnson said. Sometimes young mothers think it's better for the baby. Sometimes people can't afford to raise a child. It's not an easy decision. Emma looked down at her desk. She wished she could disappear. After school, Emma walked home slowly. She usually rode the bus, but today she wanted to walk. She needed time to think about what had happened at school. When she got home, Sarah was in the kitchen making dinner. David was not home yet. How was school? Sarah asked. Emma sat down at the table. Hard. Everyone was talking about Maya. Sarah stopped stirring the pot on the stove. What were they saying? Some kids were curious. They asked me questions about her, but some kids were mean. What did they say? Sarah asked. Emma looked at her mother. They said you were a slut for having a baby when you were young. They said our family was crazy. Sarah's face went white. Oh, Emma, I'm so sorry. It's not your fault, Emma said. Well, it is your fault. But I mean, kids can be mean about anything. Sarah sat down next to her daughter. Are you sorry that Maya found us? Emma thought about it. No, I'm not sorry. I like Maya. I want to get to know her better. But I wish you had told me about her before. I know, Sarah said. I should have told you. Mom, are you going to let Maya live here? Sarah nodded. I want her to live here. She's my daughter. She's your sister. What does Dad think about that? Sarah sighed. Dad is having a hard time with all of this. He feels like I lied to him, which I did. Are you and Dad going to get divorced? Emma asked. Sarah looked shocked. No, Emma. We're not going to get divorced. We're going to work this out. But Dad seems really angry. He is angry, Sarah said. But he'll get over it. He just needs time. David came home from work while Sarah was picking up Maya. He looked tired and stressed. Emma was doing homework at the kitchen table. How was school? David asked. Terrible, Emma said. Everyone was talking about Maya. Some kids were really mean. David sat down next to his daughter. I'm sorry. I know this is hard. Dad, are you mad at Maya? David thought about it. I'm not mad at Maya. She didn't do anything wrong. I'm mad at your mother for not telling me about her. But you like Maya, right? I don't know her yet, David said. But she seems like a nice girl. She's been through a lot. I want her to stay, Emma said. I want her to be my sister. David looked at his daughter. It's not that simple, Em. Having Maya here changes everything. Our family, our money, our space. But she's family, Emma said. She's Mom's daughter, I know, David said. But she's also a stranger. We don't know anything about her, Emma looked at her father. Dad, she's not a stranger. She's my sister. I can feel it. David sighed. I know you can. But I need time to adjust to all of this. Sarah and Maya came home with shopping bags. Sarah had bought Maya new clothes, shoes, and a winter coat. Maya looked overwhelmed by all the new things. How was work? Emma asked. Good, Maya said. My boss was happy for me. He said I seemed different today. Essay. 3 weeks had passed since Maya came to live with the Williams family. She had her own room now. The guest room had become Maya's room. Sarah had bought her a desk for homework and new sheets for the bed. Maya still felt like she was visiting, but slowly the room was starting to feel like hers. Maya started going to the same school as Emma. The first day was hard. Everyone stared at her. Some kids were curious about the girl who looked like Emma but dressed differently. Some kids whispered behind her back. Maya was used to being the outsider, but it still hurt. Emma walked with Maya to classes and ate lunch with her. Emma introduced Maya to her friends. Most of them were nice, but Maya could tell they thought she was strange. She talked differently than they did. She wore different clothes. She knew about things they had never experienced. Maya lived in foster care, Emma told her friend Jessica. She's been through a lot. Jessica looked at Maya with a mixture of curiosity and pity. That must have been hard, Maya nodded but didn't say much. She didn't like talking about her past with Emma's friends. They were nice kids, but they didn't understand what it was like. To have no family, no home, no security. At home, things were getting more complicated. David was trying to be nice to Maya, but Sarah could tell he was struggling. He wasn't used to having another person in the house. He wasn't used to sharing his wife and daughter with someone else. Sarah, we need to talk, David said one evening. After dinner, Maya and Emma were upstairs doing homework. Sarah looked at her husband. What about? About money, David said. About space, about how this is all going to work. Sarah sat down at the kitchen table. What do you mean? I mean, we now have 4 people in this house instead of 3. Maya needs clothes and school supplies and food. She needs a cell phone and a computer. She needs money for school activities. So we'll give her those things, Sarah said. She's our daughter. David shook his head. Sarah, we're not rich. We make enough money for our family of 3. But adding another person changes everything. Are you saying we can't afford to take care of Maya? I'm saying we need to think about this carefully. Emma is going to college in 2 years. That's expensive. We've been saving for years to pay for her college. Sarah looked at her husband. So what are you saying? That we should send Maya away because she costs money? I'm not saying that, David said. I'm saying we need to be realistic. Maya is 18. She's almost an adult. Maybe she should get a job and help pay for things. She has a job, Sarah said. She works at that burger place. That's not a real job, David said. She makes minimum wage. She works part-time. That's not enough to support herself. Sarah felt angry. David, she's been working since she was 16. She's been taking care of herself her whole life. Now, she finally has a family and you want her to keep working? I want her to be responsible, David said. I want her to contribute to this family. She is contributing, Sarah said. She helps with chores. She's nice to Emma. She's trying to fit in. David sighed. That's not what I mean, and you know it. Upstairs, Maya was trying to do her math homework. She was smart, but she had missed a lot of school over the years. Moving from foster home to foster home had meant changing schools often. She was behind in some subjects. Emma was helping her with algebra. So, if x equals 5, then 2x plus 3 equals 30, Emma explained. Maya looked at the problem. I don't understand why there are letters in math. Emma laughed. I know it's weird, but once you get used to it, it's not that hard. Maya tried to focus on the math, but she could hear David and Sarah talking downstairs. Their voices were getting louder. Are they fighting about me again? Maya asked. Emma looked toward the door. I don't know, maybe they fight a lot now, Maya said. They didn't fight before I came here. They fought sometimes, Emma said. Just not about big things. Maya put down her pencil. Emma, do you think I should leave? Emma looked at her sister. What do you mean? I mean, go back to the group home or find my own apartment. Stop causing problems for your family. Our family, Emma said. You're part of this family now. But I'm making everyone unhappy, Maya said. Your dad doesn't want me here. Your mom feels guilty about me. You have to deal with kids at school asking questions about me. Emma was quiet. For a moment. Maya, do you want to leave? Maya thought about it. Part of me does. It was easier when I was alone. I didn't have to worry about fitting in or making people happy. I just had to take care of myself. But do you want to leave? Emma asked again. Maya looked at her sister. No, I like it here. I like having a family. I like having a sister, but I don't want to ruin everything for you. You're not ruining anything, Emma said. You're making everything better. Maya looked at Emma. How can you say that? Your parents are fighting? Kids at school are mean to you. Everything is complicated now. But I have a sister, Emma said. I have someone who understands me. Someone who will always be there for me, Maya smiled a little. Even if I'm older than you? Even if you're older than me, Emma said. Besides, you might be older, but I know more about algebra. Maya laughed. That's true. The next morning, Sarah asked Maya to stay home from school. I want to take you somewhere, she said. Where? Maya asked. To see someone who can help us, Sarah said. Sarah drove Maya to a small office building downtown. The sign outside said Family Counseling Services. Maya looked at the sign. Are we going to therapy? Sarah nodded. I think we need help figuring out how to be a family, all of us. Even David and Emma? Yes, all of us. We're going to come here once a week and talk to someone who knows about families like ours. Maya felt nervous. What if the counselor thinks I don't belong with you? Sarah looked at her daughter. You belong with us, Maya. You're my daughter. Nothing will change that. They walked into the office. The counselor was a woman named Dr. Martinez. She was about Sarah's age and had a kind face. So you're Maya, Dr. Martinez said. I'm glad to meet you. Maya nodded but didn't say much. Sarah has told me a little about your situation, Dr. Martinez said. But I'd like to hear from you. How do you feel about living with the Williams family? Maya looked at Sarah, then back at Dr. Martinez. I like it, but it's hard. What's hard about it? Everything is different, Maya said. I don't know how to be a daughter. I don't know how to be a sister. I don't know how to be part of a family. What do you think being part of a family means? Dr. Martinez asked. Dr. Maya thought about it. I think it means people care about you. People want you around. People don't give up on you. And do you feel like the Williams family cares about you? Maya looked at Sarah. Sarah cares about me. Emma cares about me. I think David is trying to care about me. What makes you think David is trying? He lets me stay in his house. He doesn't yell at me. He asks how school is going. But I can tell he's not happy about me being there. Dr. Martinez nodded. That must be hard for you. I'm used to people not wanting me, Maya said. But it's different now because I want to stay. Before, I didn't care if people didn't want me. Now I care. Sarah reached over and took Maya's hand. We want you, Maya. All of us want you. David doesn't, Maya said quietly. David is having a hard time adjusting, Sarah said. But he'll come around. Dr. Martinez looked at both of them. Sarah, how does it feel to have Maya in your life? Sarah started to cry. It feels like a miracle. I thought I would never see her again. I thought about her every day for 18 years. Now she's here, and she's beautiful and smart and strong. But it's also difficult? Sarah nodded. I feel so guilty about all the things she went through. I feel like I failed her. I feel like I need to make up for 18 years of being absent. And how does that affect your relationship with David and Emma? Sarah was quiet for a moment. David feels like I'm putting Maya before him and Emma. He feels like I'm trying to fix the past instead of dealing with the present. Is he right? Sarah looked at Maya. Maybe. I just want her to be happy. I want her to feel loved. I want her to have everything she should have had from the beginning. Dr. Martinez nodded. Those are natural feelings. But Maya, how does it feel? When Sarah tries to give you everything? Maya looked uncomfortable. It feels nice, but it also feels like she's trying to buy my love. Like she thinks if she gives me enough things, I'll forgive her. Do you need to forgive her? Maya thought. About it, I don't know. I was angry for a long time. Angry that she gave me away. Angry that she never looked for me. But now I understand why she did it. She was young and scared. But you're still angry? Sometimes, Maya said. When I think about all the bad things that happened to me. When I think about how she got to have a nice life with David and Emma while I was moving from house to house, Sarah started crying harder. I'm so sorry, Maya. I'm so sorry for everything you went through. I know you are, Maya said. But sorry doesn't change what happened. Dr. Martinez looked at both of them. Sarah, you can't change the past. You can only work on the present and future. Maya, you have a right to your anger, but you also have a choice about what to do with it. What do you mean? Maya asked. You can hold on to your anger and let it poison your new relationships. Or you can work through it and build something new with your family. Maya was quiet for a long time. I want to build something new, but I don't know how. 6 months had passed since Maya first walked into the Williams house. The leaves on the trees were changing colors and falling to the ground. Maya stood at her bedroom window, watching Emma rake leaves in the backyard. Emma was wearing a thick sweater and had her hair pulled back in a ponytail. Maya smiled as she watched her sister work. Emma was always doing something. She was either studying or playing soccer or helping around the house. Maya had never met anyone who had so much energy. Maya, Sarah called from downstairs. Dinner. Maya walked downstairs to the kitchen. The table was set for 4 people, like it had been every night for the past 6 months. Maya's place was between Emma and David. At first, she had sat at the end of the table, like a guest. But slowly, she had moved to the middle, like a real family member. How was school today? David asked as they sat down to eat. Good, Maya said. I got a B on my English test. That's great, Sarah said. I'm so proud of you. Maya looked at her mother. Sarah was always proud of her, even for small things. At first, Maya had thought it was fake, but now she knew Sarah really meant it. I helped her study, Emma said. We stayed up late reading the book together. David looked at his daughters. You two are good for each other. Maya looked at David. He had started calling her and Emma his daughters about a month ago. The first time he said it, Maya had felt her heart skip a beat. Now she was getting used to it, but it still made her happy. Dad, can Maya and I go to the football game Friday night? Emma asked. If you both want to go, David said. But be home by 11. We will, Emma said. Maya's never been to a high school football game before. Maya shook her head. I never did normal high school things. I was always working or moving to a new school. Well, now you can do all the normal high school things, Sarah said. You can go to games and dances and parties. Maya looked at her family. They were all eating dinner together, talking about normal things. It felt so ordinary, but to Maya it felt like a miracle. After dinner, Maya helped Sarah clean the dishes. This had become their routine. Emma did her homework while Maya and Sarah cleaned up. Maya, Sarah said as she dried a plate. How do you feel about everything now? About living here? Maya thought about it. Good, better than I thought I would. You happy? Maya looked at Sarah. I think so. I'm still learning how to be happy, but yes, I think I'm happy. Sarah smiled. I'm glad. I want you to be happy. I know you do, Maya said. Thank you for everything, for letting me stay, for buying me clothes, for helping me with school. You don't need to thank me, Sarah said. I'm your mother. That's what mothers do. Maya looked at Sarah. I know, but I'm still learning how to have a mother. We're both learning, Sarah said. I'm learning how to be your mother too, Maya nodded. I think we're doing okay. I think we are too, Sarah said later. That evening, Maya was in her room studying when David knocked on her door. Come in, Maya said. David walked in and sat on the chair by Maya's desk. How's homework going? Good, Maya said. I'm almost done with my history essay. What's it about? Immigration, Maya said. About families who come to America looking for better lives, David nodded. That's a good topic. They sat in comfortable silence for a moment. Maya had learned that David was a quiet person. He didn't talk as much as Sarah or Emma, but when he did talk, he said important things. Maya, David said finally. I want to talk to you about something. Maya looked at him. Okay, I want you to know that I consider you my daughter now. Not just Sarah's daughter, my daughter too. Maya felt her eyes fill with tears. Really? Really, David said. It took me some time to get used to the idea, but you're part of our family now. You're part of me, Maya wiped her eyes. Thank you, Dad. David smiled. You called me Dad. Is that okay? It's more than okay, David said. I like it. Maya hugged David. I love you. I love you too, David said. Welcome to the family, Maya. The next day at school, Maya was eating lunch with Emma and her friends when a girl named Ashley sat down at their table. Hi, Maya, Ashley said. I wanted to ask you something. Maya looked at Ashley. Ashley was one of the popular girls. She had never talked to Maya before. What? Maya asked. Are you really Emma's sister? Maya nodded. Yes. But you look so different, Ashley said. And you dress different. And you talk different? Emma looked at Ashley. Ashley, that's kind of a rude question. I'm not being rude, Ashley said. I'm just curious. I mean, Maya lived in foster care, right? That's so sad. Maya felt her face get hot. It wasn't sad. It was my life. But didn't you feel sorry for yourself? Ashley asked. I mean, not having real parents? Maya stood up. I have real parents now. And I had real parents before. Just because they weren't my birth parents doesn't mean they weren't real. Emma stood up too. Ashley, leave Maya alone. I'm not doing anything wrong, Ashley said. I'm just asking questions. You're being nosy, Emma said. And mean, Maya looked at Emma. It's okay, Emma. I can answer her questions. Maya looked at Ashley. You want to know about foster care? Fine, it was hard. I moved from house to house. I never knew if I would have enough food or if people would be nice to me. I never had my own room or my own things. I never had anyone who loved me just because I was me. Ashley looked uncomfortable. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to upset you. But, you know what? Maya continued. It made me strong. It made me grateful for what I have now. It made me appreciate having a family who wants me. Emma smiled at her sister. That's right. Maya sat back down. Ashley, you've had everything your whole life. You've never had to worry about where you'll sleep or if you'll have dinner. You've never had to be grateful for a warm bed or clean clothes. Maybe you should think about that before you feel sorry for me. Ashley looked embarrassed. I'm sorry, Maya. I was just curious. It's okay, Maya said. But next time, maybe ask me privately instead of in front of everyone. Ashley nodded and left the table. Emma's other friends looked at Maya with new respect. That was awesome, Jessica said. You totally put Ashley in her place, Maya shrugged. I'm tired of people feeling sorry for me. I don't want pity. I just want to be treated like everyone else. You are like everyone else, Emma said. You're just Maya, my sister. Maya smiled. Thanks, Emma. That weekend, the Williams family went to a restaurant to celebrate David's birthday. Maya had never been to a nice restaurant before. She wasn't sure what to order or how to act. Just order whatever. Looks good, Sarah said. It's Dad's birthday. We're celebrating. Maya looked at the menu. Everything was expensive. Are you sure? I'm sure, David said. This is a special occasion. Maya ordered chicken parmesan. When it came, it was the best food she had ever tasted. She ate every bite. Good? Emma asked. Amazing, Maya said. I've never had food this good. We'll have to come here more often, Sarah said. Maya looked at her family. They were all dressed up and sitting around the table together. David was wearing a tie. Sarah had on a nice dress. Emma looked pretty in her blue sweater. I have something to say, Maya said. Everyone looked at her. 6 months ago, I was living in a group home. I had no family. I had no one who cared about me. I worked at a fast food restaurant and went to night school. I thought that was all my life would ever be. Maya looked at each of them. But then, I found you, and you let me into your family. You gave me a home and clothes and food and love. You made me feel like I belonged somewhere. Maya's voice got shaky. I know it wasn't easy. I know I caused problems. I know David had to get used to having me around. I know Sarah felt guilty about the past. I know Emma had to deal with kids at school asking questions. But you stuck with me. You didn't give up on me. You made me part of your family. Sarah was crying. Oh, Maya, I'm not finished, Maya said. I want you to know that you saved me. Not just from the group home or from being alone. You saved me from thinking I wasn't worth loving. You saved me from thinking I didn't deserve a family. Maya looked at David. Dad, thank you for letting me be your daughter. I know it was hard. At first, but you gave me a chance. David wiped his eyes. Thank you for being my daughter. Maya looked at Sarah. Mom, thank you for finding the courage to let me into your life. I know seeing me brought back painful memories, but you didn't turn me away. Sarah reached across the table and took Maya's hand. Thank you for forgiving me. Thank you for giving me a second chance to be your mother. Maya looked at Emma. Emma, thank you for being the best sister anyone could ask for. You made me feel welcome from the very first day. You stood up for me at school. You helped me with homework. You made me feel like I belonged. Emma was crying too. Thank you for being my sister. Thank you for making our family better. Maya looked at all of them. I love you all so much. I'm so grateful to be part of this family. We love you too, David said. So much, Sarah added. Forever, Emma said. The waitress came over to their table. Is everything okay? Are you celebrating something special? David looked at his family. Yes, we're celebrating being together. That's wonderful, the waitress said. Can I get you anything else?